Brian here with you. Welcome back into my office. Let's examine this mid-19th century book on Native American Indians. The title is Indian Races of North and South America, with a gilt pictorial publisher's binding. If we look closely, we'll see that the cloth is split along the front joint here, like so. The spine is still firmly and well attached. There's a little tiny split down here along this bit of cloth, a little bit of chipping, little, it's not perfect, but it's quite attractive still. It's a nice example, the marbled edges of the text block. And what we see is an original hand color to this half-title page. The title page is 1857, and what's interesting is all the details of the title, and it talks about it mentions here how it was by subscription only. So this is one of those 19th century books that you did not walk into a bookshop to buy, but rather it was a door-to-door sales event to purchase it. Here are the chapter headings of American antiquities, Aboriginals of Mexico, Florida Indians, Delaware, the Iroquois, the Indians of Virginia, New England Indians, northern various tribes of between the Mississippi and the Pacific. Then it gets into South American, Brazil, the Pampas, Patagonia, and so on. This is the extensive list of illustrations here. And you'll see as we flip through the book that there are quite a number of hand-colored ones. These are wood engravings with original hand color. The color almost certainly would have been applied using a stencil. At this date in book production in the United States, it was in fact often done that plates would be colored, these images would be colored in private homes by either women or even children, child labor. And it's also a little known fact that the images are printed separately from the book itself using a different method, and they're only inserted into the book during the binding process. And so that's an interesting fact to keep in mind when looking at images like this, of this era, is to realize that the printing of them and the coloring of them is done outside the context of the text block itself, which explains why often you'll see the same book with the plates bound in different places, is that the binders would at times just simply make mistakes or actually be drinking and not functioning on all cylinders properly. But anyway, we see here that the plates all do remain quite clean overall. Minor offsetting, some tiny small spotting, some toning, but really about as nice as one could hope for as an interior state of preservation in a book like this. All the text is set within ruled boxes, which is a convention of this era. A lot of books in the 1840s and 50s set all of the text within double-ruled boxes. It's hard to say why some illustrations were not colored and others were. I don't know if there's a logic to it. But the hand coloring is quite interesting. It's quite a monumental work. And if it interests you, it is available now online from me, Brian DiMambro.